would start in this fashion. I have heard, I think we had a conversation, and he said, well, there's the possibility that across the local government in Rivers State, there's going to be a shutdown. So I'd like us to start from there and understand what prompted this decision and why.
Okay. Good morning, the listeners, once again. Mr. Ifiemi, if you recall, we were in this studio some time ago before our able governor was suspended. The issue we had before now was the non-implementation of cohorts for the primary health care workers, of which it has been implemented across the board in our sister states. Rivers State is not an exception of primary health care workers. So we raised the issue with Rivers State government where these cohorts should be implemented for our primary health care workers. With God on our own side, the Rivers State government implemented it. And before now, we had haphazard harmonization of salary. But with the government, we were able to harmonize the salary. So we want to give it to them and want to say thank you to Rivers State government and as at the seated administrators then. But for now, as at then, we went into an agreement with the government where before the suspension, our governor has approved all the promotion areas. We all know that it is the governor who promoted the Rivers State workers. But to our own shocking surprise, the conventional traditional workers of the LGA we are paid all their due remunerations, their promotion areas and everything. So we really wonder why at every point in time they need to exempt health workers in our various local governments. So right from then, we've been raising issues, raising letters, requesting for the primary health care workers to be paid their promotion areas. The junior workers have not even been implemented, not even talking about even the arrears.
For how long now for the junior workers?
Junior workers, as at that April, we are talking about 16 months. So if you add that to this
should be over 20.
Yes, because it has not been implemented. Then they implemented for the senior health workers, which the arrears is still pending for 9 months. And the traditional workers are not being owed for 1 naira. So our own agitation is what is good for the goose is good for the gander. You cannot have every other person working in the same local government and some part of the workers will be paid and some will not be paid.
So this is particular to the primary healthcare workers. They are the ones who are suffering this now.
Suffering this alone. So part of our demands is the primary health workers should be treated same as other primary health workers across our states, even with the health workers in the river states. Whatever that is being done for the health workers should be done simultaneously to our health workers in the LGAs. Those are part of our issues that is making us to say the government should come to our aid and implement what they are supposed to do, because we've written and we've exhausted all the labor process, and that's why we are saying where these things are not being done, that we are going to withdraw the services of the primary healthcare worker. You don't expect where the people you want them to be working at the grassroots, their welfare is not being taken care of properly, and that's why we are here.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Joseph quickly. So there's already the talk that at the primary level, there's a problem with even manpower. There's also talks about inadequacy in the quality of service because of lack of certain materials to aid the work. And then many are saying that because of these things, yes, it's really poor, but then a total shutdown. Should health workers be thinking in that direction, looking at how it's going to affect adversely people at the various communities in that level, where the primary healthcare system is where they can get first contact with healthcare service. So, do you share that opinion? Is it something that must take place, or you'd have to also consider what it would mean for people who already are not getting 100% service because of the standard?
Okay, thank you, Rivers people. Good morning, all once again. Yes, one of the issues that you see this matter has been delayed till today.
Yes,
is as a result of this thinking that because ordinarily Rivers people will suffer. The pregnant mother will suffer. Under 5 children will suffer. The aged people will suffer. The poor masses will suffer because this political class, the high-level people now can always have access to private health sector where they can get their medical attention. But this is why the grassroots, they don't have any means. That is why you see this delay. If ordinarily we gave the government ultimatum of 21 days, 14 days, and 7 days, which has elapsed since last year. But because of the impact of if we withdraw our services now, the system will collapse. The 2 teaching hospitals in Rivers State cannot accommodate the number of influx of patients that will enter that place. That is why we are still dialoguing. I can take us back a little bit. In April, toward the Easter, all of us, the state council, never relented. We were with the state government, where we now, okay, this matter it has overstayed. Let us enter into agreement. We enter agreement. Agreement was reached that all these allowances should be paid immediately. The state government releases allocation to the LGA. All the solar administrators should pay this money immediately. That was in April. But which month is this? We are in.
This is November.
November, and they didn't do it. Is it the fault of the health worker that I will now keep the health of the people? They should be healthy. I will be suffering. It is not fair. That is where the issue now. We ought to shut down the system so that let all of us now come down to round table again and pay the money that is supposed to be paid, because our counterpart in the states, our loving governor Ifukibot, has cleared all the areas of doctors, nurses, all medical officers, paramedical officers that are working in the state government. He has cleared them all. Then for health workers now, all of us are in the same school, the same course, the same service we are rendering. Just because we are rendering services at the grassroots now, will not be punished. How could that be if you are in my shoe?
But what did the government say was the reason behind? Let me come to you now, madam. What did the government say is the reason for this disparity? And I would like to say, if I'm going to go by your explanation, uneven treatment with regards to how the payments have been made. Did they give a particular reason why primary healthcare workers are facing the kind of delays that they face before they get the monies that are due them?
Okay, for clarity, the primary healthcare workers' salary are domiciled with the local governments.
Okay.
So it is the local government chairman and the principal officers who are in charge of this thing. I think that question, somehow I might not even be in a position to be answering it, because they are the authorities.
So they have not held meetings with you guys to explain
why? We have held meeting with them. They agreed, not the chairman particularly. Like before now, the last meeting we held in April, May, where we had an agreement reached, where they said immediately the allocation is being released, all that should be paid, of which they pleaded that it will be done instrumentally. We said yes, okay, we agreed, but we can't really tell specifically why all these payments will be delayed, and we stand to be corrected. Just, we are not even talking within the northern states. Within the south, Rivers State is left far behind. Even this coherence that is just being implemented in April, it has been implemented in other states as far as 2004. The Rivers State has been left behind, of which this local government principal officers felt the health workers cannot earn more than those other workers in the local government there, but they fail to understand that professions differs. Just as you look at the aviation, you look at the judiciary, all the various professions have their own salary scale. So in this case, the health workers salary are differs. Just as in the same health sector, we have the doctors who are on comments, of which their salary is far above what we are talking on cohens, but yet these local government principal officers fail to, and this money is meant for all this whole thing. And that's why we're also demanding for the fact that they have failed in taking up their responsibility. They should move the primary health workers to a central payroll system where the state definitely will be in charge of paying the general health workers, where once issues are being raised, it will be treated evenly, and not saying okay, we are waiting for local governments to consider, we'll keep begging and all that. It's not fair. Where issues, even WHO programs that comes, you see that it is the health workers in the various local governments that really saddle with those things to the grassroots. So why should these people be the victim? They are not treated evenly as their counterparts across the states.
Okay.
Within and across the states.
All right. Well, there's more to ask. When we go on a short commercial, when we come back, we'll get to find out when exactly you're intending to shut down and how long this shutdown would last, and possibly there's something that can be done, or if done by government now, would lead to suspension of this shutdown. Because let's be honest, we all don't want this to happen. Mr. Joseph, he has highlighted people that would suffer if you shut down, and I'm pretty sure those people, including myself, don't want that to happen. So we're going on a quick break. When we come back, we'll find out from you, should this happen, should these health workers embark on this shutdown? 0809 030 6416 is the WhatsApp number. Nigeria Info. The conversation continues. My name is Ifiemi Andrew, and we have members of the Medical and Health Workers Union here in the studio. The chairperson, Bapakaye James Glory, is here. We have a member of the executive, Joseph Ifukibot, also with us in the studio. And quite a lot has been said. First is they are shutting down, and they've told us why. This monies they are being owed for months on, for some people more than 6 months, 16 months, for others around the same time, and they are wondering, why are the local governments not attending to this particular concern, regardless of the meetings and ultimatums and all that have been given over the months? 0809-030-6416 is the WhatsApp number. Should these health workers embark on this shutdown is a big question. I'll come to Madam Chairperson here. Let's start with this. Before the break, I said, so this shutdown that you want to embark on, when do you intend to start?
Okay, we've written to the state governments and also copied the relevant authorities. We've said where these demands are not being met, that precisely on the 9th of November, being Sunday midnight, 12 midnight, the services of all the health workers in the local governments will be withdrawn.
Okay.
Not until the demands of the health workers are being met.
So which means let me, I think, Mr. Joseph, I'd like you to respond to this. So from what has been said by the chairperson now, you're saying that, is there something that government can do now at the local level that would change this? And secondly, why do you think, how long do you think this shutdown would last? I think that's a better way to put it.
Okay, Mr. Fiemi, thank you for that question. How long depends on how fast the state governments will persuade the local governments to clear all the areas of primary care workers in the states, because we cannot be like working and we don't get what we are, because now as you to find out, people say, hey, you go to this office and you don't see anybody in the office and you cry, you know. So but now we are looking about pay us what due us. You have paid yourself. The HOGA, which is the head of local administrator, is a principal officer of the council. The director of finance is a principal of the council, and the head of personnel management now, they are in charge. Now this money now are there. I think they just do a jack meeting. The money is there, so that for us to avoid this thing, because people will suffer. People will suffer. So the best thing is our account is with them. All the account of primary care workers are with the councils. They should start to create the accounts now.
How many months in general would you say that they are owing to?
We are owing
the senior staff.
Yes,
we have 9 months promotion arrears unpaid. You know, we are promoted. It was since 2023. The implementation was done in March 2024. That was, if you remember, when governor seized allocation.
Yeah,
it was this issue was among what made the governor to seize some of the allocation, because they didn't want to implement the promotion of primary care workers. But when they now promoted themselves by March, by June, their promotion result came out. All the traditional workers, they immediately pay all their arrears immediately. But our one was pending. They refused to pay. So for us to avert this industrial action is for the government to make sure that our due arrears are being paid. We have 16 months for junior staff. We have more than 16 months because they refuse to pay. They have not
almost
16 months is still
counting
counting
now.
16
Now the
months
that
is
of
still
senior staff now 9 months now should be cleared. I won't take half.
I was about to ask, what
Yes,
if the
no,
government
we'll
says
take
they are going to
And
pay
there is
half
also
of
a differential from the conhens payments that was done after the conhens was implemented. The differential from February, some local government, we have few local governments that adhere to the directives that was implemented. For those who didn't implement the differential, what we agreed then, we said, okay, once the implementation is being done, the differential of February and March should be paid from the 85,000 naira minimum wage of the conhens. Then other local governments, about 19, just 4 implemented then. So we have about 4 months differentials
So
that
before
is
they
still
implemented
pending.
was about the ones we were talking in the March era where the government withdrew money
Yes,
for some.
that the government, yes, involved.
The state government got
Yes,
involved at the
yes.
time. So now, as it stands, you're saying they have to pay all, no half. So if government says they want to pay half, that's not, you're not
No,
hearing
they
that.
can't
And
pay
because we have prolonged these issues. The time we had that MOU, the government pleaded and said because health workers and budget is huge, that we should try to understand with them for the money to be paid instrumentally. And if this whole thing has been done, if not that the principal officers that I would think, if I want to borrow the word you've been using, the prince of partial, they just claim they are just the god that the local government people have. If they've been paying it instrumentally the way we agreed, by now this whole thing would have been gone. So why should the LGA health workers be sacrificial lamb at every point in time? So we want to say no, let it be stopped. If they are not ready to treat the health workers the way they are treating the traditional workers, we say just like the children of Israel, I said, Pharaoh, let my people go. They should release the health worker. We are saying let the health workers go.
Okay. I would want to go back to could it be possible that even though the state governor at the time impressed on the local government and wanted to make sure that these things were done properly at the time, and we saw how it happened, and then we had the emergency rule, did that play a role? How much, that 6 months of the administrator, what did that do with regards to this issue? Did it change anything?
Yes, it actually added something to it, because the local government system is just like there are cabals running the system, whereby even when state government is giving instruction, they will do what they want to do and no punishment. That is where state comes in here, because the reason why we are able to do the harmonization, we are today, I can talk about somebody in Gokana at the same level, the same step with somebody in Andoni.
We get the same
thing now. It's because of the fear of the social administrator, because he's a soldier. So that's why it's all of them running letters as social. Immediately after they saw that the man was ensured, they actually delayed the payment so that the administrator will leave. When governor come, when I see so see how to say, governor, we are with you, we will support you, we'll do this now, so that we don't do it to use to do political bargaining. That is what we are suffering today.
So that's what they do.
That is what
These principal officers do at the local government
level now, because they just sit down and they say, because they know that now they are administrators. This way they don't have a hand to do so much. If they have elected chairman, they will not say, oh, we are independent now, we are not for the state now, they will not start to fight. That is why they refuse to pay the money in that. Now, that is why we are shutting down now.
It's funny because those people are civil servants, and they are going to retire. So technically, if they are really doing that, doesn't that mean that they are also witch hunting their fellow civil servants?
Let me shock you something. You remember when the minimum wage chart was read to the state government? Yes. The head of service sends a copy of that thing, the way the primary care ought to be paid, alongside with the secondary and tertiary. Send the chart to the government system. They change the salary chart to what they want, and nobody is punished. That is an act of insubordination in Rivers State. It has not done anywhere. We are like heads of service will now send a letter to say this is what you're going to do, because in civil service we act on memo. When a memo is given to you now, you don't have choice. Your superior say do this, you have to do it. But we understood that memo chart
was altered
by
local government.
That is why you talk about that differential. Is that to that because they alter to suit what they want, they now pay what they want. Now when we now go into the meeting, I want to say, look at what the head of service sent to you to pay. You will now pay half now. That's when they now go, okay, this differential, we have 3 months, 4 months differential, which they are not paid to, in addition to the promotion areas. Is
it safe to say that at this point it is man's wickedness to man?
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Okay. However, let's also note that these principal officers, wherever they are listening, you have the opportunity to also defend yourself. So just in case you feel like there's another version to the story and you want to get it out, well, you can reach us and have your day here on the show to also clarify issues. But so far, this is what the health workers are saying. So on the 9th on Sunday, midnight, you're embarking on this shutdown.
Withdrawing the services of the primary
healthcare workers indefinitely, and the condition is until all being owed is paid, not half, not part.
That's why we're appealing to our lovable governor to come in. This one is just like an SOS message to our loving governor who don't like unjust circumstances. So we want to appeal to the public too, to also understand with these health workers that it is not in our own making for the health workers to withdraw their services. It's unfortunate, just like my counterpart has said, the poor masses will suffer for this whole thing, because these principal officers, that's why they are public servants,
They're making more money.
They will not suffer for this whole thing. It is just the poor masses that will suffer for this thing. So that's why we want to beg them to do the needful, because these health workers are also their brothers and their sisters. The money is not an individual money. It has been budgeted already. So our own pain is, where these whole things are being done, why did you pay yourself and exempt these people?
But this is one question now. Like, before we take the phone calls, the lines are already, people are sending the message, lines are buzzing. Before we go to the phone lines in the next 2 minutes, very important, because I find it hard to believe that the council chairman would sit down and know that these things are happening and know that this money is with them and they should sign and do what is needed. Then they are just deliberately not doing it. It's hard to understand. Has there been have you had meetings with them, and what did they say in any of the local governments?
Okay, you know that most times when the governments want to handle such issues, it is our own governor that most times have the rights and power to call the chairman. But the principal officers, the head of service, she has been a mother on this case. Outside being she as the HOS, this case, there are some principal officer in the states. I want to use this opportunity to also say thank you to the HOS, because they've been pressurizing these principal officers, pay these people at the local government level. Pay these people.
Even when
they are in charge. You see, because what they just have behind their mind, that singular thought that why should the health worker's salary be higher than their own? They that are paying the salary. But of course, yes, salary structure differs. You cannot go and ask a pilot, why is your salary higher? Ask the judiciary workers. Are we going to meet the health workers, even in, for instance, NDDC, to say, why is your money different from others? No, it's not in our own making. That's why I earlier said.
So you think their main problem in this is because they feel you are earning more than them?
Yes, they are selfish and they are greedy attitude of it. Because if the government circumstances ordinarily have said, this is these people's salary structure, you are being directed. It is not in your own position to say, why should you pay people where you work in the same environment?
Does these things not require the approval of the chairman to happen?
Yes,
it does.
So and sometimes we want to put it that they all connive. They are all conniving to actualize.
So what would the chairman cannot say that your salary is more than his. That's why he would approve something of that nature. That means there have to be something else that's happening.
Sorry, Ifiemi, it will shock you to know that even when this cohens was implemented, they just felt, the local government's resources has been drowned. Like, the health worker's salary is huge, so we can't pay, we can't do this, we can't do that. But as we speak, like the junior ones they've not implemented, they are still accruing it. It's still counting. So instead of them to take a bold step to say, let us address this issue, we can't keep coming back every day to complain the same thing. And that's why we are also saying this local government chairman and they are women. These people are your brothers and are your sisters. Some of them are married to these health workers. So for heaven's sake, they should do the needful.
All right, let's take a few calls. Mr. Joseph, I know you wanted to say a few things. Okay, go ahead first. What do you want to say to
Okay, what I wanted to add is that, you see, the issue, maybe one of their pains, initially, the primary care workers was not with local government system. We were pushed to them because we feel that the government feel that they can do something better. But when we now push us to that place now, the government said, this is not working. This attitude it's not working. The system is not working. This system will collapse because it has been adjudged that primary care is the foundation, is the bedrock for health system. That's why they have to. So the pulling out of primary care workers from the local government system to them is like, our money want to go as if the money belongs to them. Why our money want to go now? And there is a law in the state that says primary care workers should be pulled out from the local government to the state level. Yes, that is what we call primary care under one roof. It's a policy of the federal government. So that everyone will be, so that we now have this discrepancy will not be there. But yet, this thing is not be there. Maybe that is the annoyance. Say, we cannot do this now. We want to go now. As it is now, primary care workers are not even in the state. They're not even in local government. We're just like that. That is why we're just like an orphan in River State. And it's happening only in River State here. But as I hear now, you can't talk about it.
So you think it's largely political?
It's political, yes. That is why even the state sometimes don't even feel reluctant to even move because the law is there now. Maybe I just forgot. I will have brought the law to you bring the law so that you can see what the law says.
All right.
Not that the state government is not even obeying the law that you created.
0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. They have said they are embarking on a shutdown should the health workers go on this strike. Many think the health workers shouldn't be going on strike, but this one says, if your claims are true, how come 23 local government areas unanimously refuse paying? Isn't this coming from the Local Government Service Commission? Isn't this in the knowledge of the state executive? I'm just thinking out loud. I think it's similar to the question I asked in Priye. It's possible that local government may have used these workers' salary to trade for their benefits in denial of these workers' welfare, e-beams. Well, there are rumors of that nature that have always been spreading, that some of the people who get into office have agreements secretly that they enter and certain monies they have to part with. I don't know. Your message is what I'm referring to, and those rumors have been circling around for ages in the Nigerian politics. This one says, sorry. Good morning, our able chairperson, for your pragmatic and diplomatic way of hiding labor issues. Your effort towards achieving coexistence wouldn't be forgotten in a hurry. I think strike should be the next line of action since it's the only language that government understands. This is Comrade Bapakaye Eze from a local government area. I think we're having some delays with phone lines. I don't know why.
Okay, let me respond to that. What the first question you read, that is said, why is that all the AGA agreed on this now? Yeah. The issue is that if it is not true, assuming the person is doubting now that
it's not possible that all the local governments.
So why the agreements in March? Because we saw this in the head of service sat down, the secretary of government sat down. We brought the chairman of Nigerian Union of Local Government Employee, Noge, who was there. He was representing both the principal officer of the council and as a union. Say these are the issues, these are facts. Oh yeah, go and pay. That is why they now agree. Go and pay. Once the allocation comes in April, please clear these areas. You can pay them. There's money in the system now. It's not a matter of Nigeria's in recession.
Let's go to Mile 3. Magnus, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
All right, Magnus, go on, please.
Thank you. Good morning to your listening studio. Very quickly, I want to know the structure of salary for civil servants in the state. Is it different from what the head workers should receive? That if a local government worker is receiving salary on 28th or 30th of the month, maybe the head worker will also receive the same date or different date. I want to know whether there is a variety between the salary payments.
All right, no problem.
I think the head workers have done their best in the state to make sure that people have a quality health care when it comes to the local level. But from a part of the River State government, they have not been doing best.
All right, Magnus, you'd have to allow us to respond to your question. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time. So you already asked the question. We need to respond. Sorry, we couldn't let you go on with all that you wanted to say. I am Braid from Port Harcourt. Quickly, please. Good morning. Hello, Braid. Good morning.
Yes, also the guest, good morning.
All right, go on, Braid, with your question or contribution.
LGA met with people and what is outcome, and also the local government service commission.
Braid, unfortunately, we have to interrupt you. I think something with the service. I don't know if it's from our end or from your end, but it's difficult to hear you clearly. It's breaking up, so we really can't make head or tails out of what you're trying to say. If you can't get back to us, please do. In the meantime, let's go to Ilili Alimini. Emeka is on the line. Emeka, good morning.
Yes, Andrew, good morning.
Yep, go ahead, Emeka.
To the people that are in this primary head is the government. Andrew, do you remember when, during the last time, that was 1999, they were paying primary school teachers. Local government people were paying primary school teachers. They used to owe them 6 months, 7 months before they will pay. Before Amechina came in, and removed it from the local government authority to the state. So what I expected the state government, Minister of Health, to do is to remove the primary health workers salary from the local government back to the state for prompt payment. But the thing is lying on local government authority. They are using the money to buy houses in different places. And they are paying dues somewhere. So they will the money to pay this. So I am calling on the state government. They should please transfer the pay point of primary health center from local government straight to the state.
All right, Emeka. Thank you. I am Braid is back. Good morning, Braid.
Yes, Andrew. If you can hear me now.
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
I want to ask the guests in the studio, have they really take time to meet with the HLGAs of the various local government and also let them know that, look, this is their problem, it's not being handled, so they want to go on strike? And have they also exploit the angle of seeing the local government service commission to tell them their plight and also find way to see the governor or the secretary to the state government and also tell them, because this issue that they will go on strike, is the masses that are going to suffer it. The big weight, the heavyweight, the SNJs are not going to suffer it because they have special doctors that will attend to them. So that's my take. Thank you and God bless.
All right, Braid, thank you very much. Quickly, Madam Chairperson, if you can respond to the questions before we wrap up.
Okay, I want to just respond quickly to the first caller that tried to ask if the time for payments and if the salary are quite different. The time for payments, just like I earlier said, the local government health workers, their salary are domiciled with the local government. So when the state pays, the LGA has different time that they hold their JAC meeting. After JAC, they now pay salaries. So the payment period are not same. By God's grace, after this whole seated meeting and agreement we had, we've been able to harmonize. So right now we can boldly say that the states and primary healthcare health workers salary, those that are on cohens, are on same scale now with the primary healthcare. Yes. Then for Mr. Emeka asking if we have actually gotten to the necessary authority, if you look at that document with you, you will see all the correspondence. Yes. You see that the local government service commission, they will tell you that we'll be meeting with them, and all the correspondences, those are the core parent body of the principal officers. So we've been writing to them, informing them, or even Ministry of Local Government Affairs, head of service, SSG office, all of it. There is no office that is connected to this local government that we've not copied letter to.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, we're already out of time.
If they have gotten the letter, all this memo now, those things you can see now, it's not a memo. If you bring the correspondence to state government, it's as high as more than the Bible. But who has talked over it? Everybody just relents and just sit down now. Okay, do whatever you want.
Now, sorry, Mr. Ifiemi. Now, for record purpose, as this present commission chairman came on board, even you will see that because our issues have been pending and lingering, we've even written for courtesy visit for us to meet. Up to date, they've not even given us access
So what if they decide to give you access or call you for that meeting tomorrow, and then in that meeting,
government is a continued thing.
And then they will plead that you don't
government is a continued thing.
Yes.
Definitely, as they came on board, they must have been briefed, and as they are on board, we've sent more than 2 letters.
Right.
So there's no how, if they want to call for these issues, that they wouldn't have called us before.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap it up here. We're already out of time.
Let them just pay the money. That's all. That's one of the highest.
Thank you very much. We wait and see what happens midnight on Sunday. They intend to embark on strike. Once again, Madam Chairperson, thank you, Medical and Health Workers Union, and also thank you, Mr. Joseph Ifukibot, for your time.
Thank you for having us.
All right, good morning, Nigeria Info.
Yes.